How's it going, everyone? This is Adam from Slurve, Ship My Money on DraftKings, and I'll be breaking down the pitching slate for you for Wednesday, June 15th. Today, I think it's a pretty interesting day. I think it's pretty clear in cash what you should do, especially on one-pitcher sites. And in tournaments, I think there's a lot of different options that you can play around with and see what works with your hitters. So starting with cash, my number one cash play is Noah Syndergaard at 11,700 on DraftKings, 10,400 on FanDuel. On FanDuel, I think he's really the only option today in cash. He's got a high ceiling despite the not ideal matchup with the Pirates, but his strikeout numbers just give him such a high floor also. So even though the matchup isn't ideal, even if he doesn't have a great game, he's probably not going to have like a really bad game. For your second starting pitcher on DraftKings, I think it gets a little bit tricky. I'm going to try and pay up and get either Chris Sale at 11,500 or Marco Estrada at 10,900. I think they're both pretty safe, and I like that Sale's price is finally reflecting that he's not an elite strikeout pitcher anymore. But I just don't feel very comfortable with many of the cheap options today, so I'm definitely going to try and pay up for a couple of pitchers. If I do pay down a little bit, I'm interested in Anthony DeSclafani at 8,100. He made his first start off the DL last start, and he was allowed to throw 102 pitches, which is a good sign. And last season, he was a pretty decent pitcher. He had a 19% strikeout percentage, 3.97 xFIP, and he gets a matchup with the Braves in Atlanta, and they have the lowest WRC plus against right-handed pitching of any team in baseball this season. So I think it's a pretty nice matchup for DeSclafani if you're not going to pay up for your second starting pitcher in cash. In tournaments on DraftKings, I think Corey Kluber is really interesting at 13,100. He's someone I don't think a lot of people are going to pay up for, especially against the Royals, so you can get someone with massive upside at pretty low ownership. Stephen Wright also at 11,100 I expect to be under-owned. He's got a nice matchup today with the Orioles, who struggle to hit knuckleballs, and he's just someone that people never pay up for, even though he gets a lot of strikeouts and he always goes deep into games. And then moving down the list, Jeremy Hellickson's really interesting today. I was really excited about him earlier. I'm a little less excited now, but I do still like him, especially after seeing the Blue Jays lineup that only has Ryan Goins and Ezekiel Carrera as two lefties. He's someone whose price just doesn't reflect the way he's been pitching this year. You know, he's been inconsistent, but he's got really big upside, especially at this price and in this matchup. And Kevin Gausman's price on DraftKings at 5,900 is just too low also. You know, it's not a good matchup with the Red Sox, but he's a guy that any given day he can go out and have a good start. And with the price being that low, you know, his last start against the Red Sox, he went, I think it was 6 innings, he got 5 earned runs, and he still scored 15 DraftKings points. So his floor is, you know, fairly high at that price. So he's someone that I'm interested in that, you know, will be unowned in tournaments and has nice upside. So that's, you know, where I'm thinking right now, Syndergaard in cash, and then probably not Syndergaard in tournaments just because there are other options that I think will be lower owned. I don't think Syndergaard's a bad play, but I think I'll probably be using him in all my cash lineups and then not using him in my GPPs and replacing him instead with high upside, lower owned guys like Stephen Wright, Corey Kluber, and then cheaper options like Hellickson and Gausman. So that's what I'm thinking for right now. Stop into the Slurve chat and definitely tune in for the expert chat later on today. Good luck tonight, guys.